Hey there, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to be comparing the Soundcore Liberty Air 2s with the new Soundcore Liberty Air 2 Pros. Let's see if it's worth the upgrade. Like always, if this review helps you, please consider a sub or a like. Helps a little guy like me out a ton, eh? Anyways, let's get started. First up, let's take a look at them side by side. First thing I notice is that they don't look too different, other than the sexiness of the pink buds, which I'm fully embracing. They both have this dangly bit on the side with the microphone and look pretty sleek. The Air 2 has a round design at the top while the Pro has a sleeker look to me. One thing I did notice though is that the Pro is much thicker than the Air 2. Even though it is thicker, both buds are still extremely comfortable. I can wear either bud for over 2 hours with no issues at all. Plus, they give you a ton of fittings to make sure they feel good to you. Super classy move for the cost, eh? The cases are very different on these buds. The older model has a charger with inserts on the top, while the new one has this sliding bit. You just slip it up, then plop them in. This one also charges wirelessly, while the older one does not. Both have USB-C ports for fast charging though. One thing that does bother me about the new case is that when you slide the top open, it feels really cheap. It's on a plastic track and feels like it could easily snap off. Not the most encouraging thing, eh? Both of the buds have incredible battery life. The Air 2s can get around 7 hours of playtime with up to 28 hours of charge in the case, while the Pros can get up to 8 hours and 32 hours of charge in the case. Absolutely overkill for what I need, but if you're an avid hiker or just can't get near an outlet for a while, these buds are kind of mind-blowing. Great job, Soundcore. Now, one of my least favorite things about earbuds is when they have no way to relieve the suction cup pressure of in-ear buds. The Air 2s are really bad for that, with no built-in way to reduce pressure or vent. The Pros, on the other hand, do have a transparency mode, which seems to help a lot. But I'll talk more about the transparency mode in a bit. The other thing that's really strange about these buds is the touch controls. Both have tap touch controls, but for some reason, at the time of this video anyways, the Pros have no single tap option in their app, which means you can only assign 4 controls, while the Air 2s can select up to 6. So, on the Pros, you have to choose between volume or track controls. More than likely this will change with a firmware update, but it's just a bummer right now. Also, the touch area on both buds is really small and not super nice to use, and like most budget buds, there's no swipe control for volume. As for noise cancellation, the Air 2s don't have any, but when you have the buds in your ear, they definitely block a lot of noise. If the missus is wearing her buds and I walk into a room talking, there's a pretty good chance she won't even hear me. It basically sounds like you're plugging your ears, eh? The Pros, on the other hand, do have ANC and transparency mode, but they're just okay. I would probably give the noise cancellation a 5 out of 10. It works, but not nearly as good as other buds out there. The transparency mode is the same story. It's supposed to make it easier to hear voices, but you practically have to turn the music completely off in order to have an actual conversation with someone. I'm guessing they may improve this in the future with the firmware update. High notes are just too low, so they could possibly boost them? Who knows? As it is, it's not super impressive. It just helps relieve the pressure feeling of in-ear buds. When it comes to sound, this is where these buds shine. The Soundcore Liberty Air 2s sound really nice, with okay bass and crisp high notes, but I feel like the vocals are missing some depth in the mids. They definitely sound fantastic for the price. The Pros, on the other hand, definitely sound better than the Liberty Air 2s, but still not as good as the Samsung Galaxy Pro. Lows are still just okay, mids are better, and the highs are nice and crisp. Vocals definitely sound better on the Pros than on the Air 2s. Honestly, these buds sound fantastic. I would definitely recommend them if you're in the market for a solid pair of simple buds. Now, one of my absolute favorite things about Soundcore is their app. In the app, they actually let you change the EQ settings in detail, which most buds don't let you do. It's something I feel that should be mandatory with all earbuds because it's just so nice being able to dial in the sound like you like it, eh? Being able to have so much control over the performance of your buds is one of my favorite things about these guys. The app also has something called Hear ID, which will play some tones for you and you just tell it what you can and can't hear. Once it knows that, it will only produce the frequencies you can hear, which totally made the buds sound better to me. Although, it also made me feel like an old fart not being able to hear certain sounds, but it is what it is. Both of these buds sound really great when making calls. The Air 2 has 4 microphones while the Pro has 6.
This is what the Air 2s sound like outside.
And this is what the Air 2 Pros sound like outside. The Pros sound fantastic. If you're looking for a solid, relatively inexpensive set of buds, these are both great options. If you don't mind the suction cup feel of buds, then the Soundcore Liberty Air 2s are a no-brainer for the price, plus they're IPX5. If you're looking for a slightly better audio experience, without the suction cup feel of the Air 2s, then the Pros are great. The noise cancellation definitely works, it's just not the best. Also, the transparency mode's nice for relieving the pressure and having conversations. The only problem is you'll have to turn the volume down in order to actually have those conversations, and even then it's not super clear. They're still fantastic buds, they sound great, are super comfortable, and really check a lot of boxes for me. But the ANC and the transparency is just kinda meh. These buds are also IPX4, which is a little less water resistance than the Air 2s. I honestly don't think you can go wrong with either of them, they're just slightly different experiences. Anyways, I hope this helped you out somehow making a decision. If so, hopefully you can drop a like or a sub, that'd help me out a ton. If not, I still hope you have a great day and take care.